Hello and good morning. It is Tuesday, the 3rd of August, and I'm very pleased to be able to welcome you to the very first Tuesday business webinar from One Accounting. Hopefully, we're going to be able, in the next 15 or 20 minutes or so, update you on a variety of things that are related to tax and coronavirus business support, but also give you some general advice around tax tips, productivity, and also some book and podcast recommendations as well. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Chris Thomas, and I'm a director and founder of One Accounting here in Edinburgh. And rather than just stick up the normal black and white headshot photo, I thought I would share with you one of my finest achievements, which was drinking a pint of Guinness in a Dublin pub after the Dublin Marathon a few years ago. So for those of you that know me reasonably well, I'm a big running fan. It's my main hobby, and I like to travel when circumstances allow and run various races around the UK and Europe. Just run you through what I'm going to be talking about today. There's a COVID-19 support update just to share with you some of the latest things that are relevant for businesses. Every month, I'm going to be sharing 3 very quick and easy tax tips with you. We also got a book and a podcast of the month. And probably unusually for accountants, we're going to be talking about productivity. So I've got 3 productivity hacks for you right at the end of the webinar. So let's get going. First of all, I'll take you through our purpose statement. Again, for those that don't know One Accounting, our purpose as accountants is to provide valuable business information to passionate business owners. So hopefully that's you out there, using our tech-savvy team so that you can make informed decisions and achieve your goals. Okay, let's kick off talking about the CJRS, the Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme, also known as the furlough scheme. So we're speaking now in August, so the government support is actually winding back on this. You can now claim 60% of furloughed workers' wages up to a maximum of £1,875 a month. But you as the employer do need to top up by 20% or up to £625 those employees' wages. So what for the worker, they can still receive 80% of their salary or wages up to £2,500 a month. But the main difference now is that it's being split 60% by the government, 20% by the employer. That will continue into September, and the scheme will come to an end at the end of September 2021. Important just to note there that the employer will also have to pay the employer's national insurance contributions and also the employees' pensions, the employer's pension contributions as well, for those of you with workers in a pension scheme. Just some facts about furlough. I was doing my research last night on this. So there's still nearly 2 million UK employees that were on furlough at the end of June. Now, this was down from a peak of 5 million in January. But I was also surprised to see that around about 28% of all UK employers had one or more of their staff on furlough. So this might be flexible furlough, it might be full-time furlough. What we're seeing is that the hospitality, arts and creative sectors are still badly hit with government restrictions. So, we're seeing a lot of a mixture of either part-time or full-time furlough for those sectors as well. And over the course of the pandemic, the government will be funding the furlough scheme to around about £66 billion. And just to update you, the HMRC are currently investigating about 27,000 furlough claims for companies that have made claims, potentially for fraud. So, it is possible if you've done furlough claims yourself, it is possible to make a genuine, honest mistake. So there's not, a huge problem with that. The money still needs to be paid back if you've overclaimed. But unfortunately, there are people that are out there and are claiming, basically fraudulently, unfortunately, for furlough claims, either for workers who are working full time, but the company's still claiming furlough money, or all sorts of other things as well. So I think what you're going to find once the scheme has come to an end is that HMRC are going to get their claws out and publicising where they managed to claw back some money. Some furlough money, they're going to publicise that, and any prosecutions, they'll be publicising that as well. On to the next bit of support. So if you're self-employed, if you're a sole trader, there is the 5th and last grant under the SEISS, which is the Self-Employed Income Support Scheme. A few hoops to jump through on this. You need to be earning less than 50k in trading profits. You need to file tax returns for both the last 2 tax years, and you need to demonstrate that you've had a significant fall in your trading profits between May and September this year. One other initiative that I saw online the other day, actually, it's funded by the government and also the I think it's the Green Energy Trust. I might have got that slightly wrong, but it's an e-bike business loan. So if your business needs to purchase an electric bike, so maybe you're delivering goods, it could even be a cafe that's delivering coffees and cakes and things, or you run a courier service or food delivery service, then you can get a loan to fund an e-bike. There's a link there at the bottom of the screen where you can find out more information. And once I finish this webinar, I will be putting it up onto YouTube, so you can take a note of the link there as well. Okay, moving on to the next section, it's 3 quick and easy tax tips. Now, an accountant's webinar usually features pictures of a calculator, so I didn't want to deviate from the norm here. So here's an old school Canon calculator. I probably used one of these in my youth. And just to say, I'm not giving you professional tax advice here. So if you, even if you're using One Accounting as accountants, just double check things. Don't be afraid to do that. If you're not a client, then obviously we'd be happy to talk to you about becoming a client. But if you're just watching this through the power of the internet, then yeah, always just check this out. And if you've got an accountant, just run these things by them. So all of these tips, what's special about them is they don't actually cost the employer any money. So if you're a business owner, these tax tips are going to benefit potentially you and your employees, but they're not going to cost you anything. The first one, this is as close to a no-brainer as you're going to get, which is to claim a home working allowance from HMRC. And this is worth at least £62 a year for a basic rate taxpayer. If you're a higher rate taxpayer, then it's worth double that. And you can claim it. There's a link at the bottom there. It's and it's anyone that's employed and has been told to work at home by their employer. So obviously with lockdown, a lot of people forced to work from home. If your employer has issued the instruction to work from home, then you can claim this, even if you've worked at home for 1 day. Important to say that if your normal contract is working at home, i.e. you never go into an office anywhere, then you can't claim this. It's really for people that have had a change in working patterns. And there's a form to fill in, online form with HMRC, and you get the benefit by paying less tax through your PAYE code. So it's important to say, you don't actually get a check through the post for £62. You just pay less tax through PAYE, and that's how you get the benefit. The second one it only applies if you've got children, and this will be children under the age of 11. If you're earning between about 7K and 100K a year, you have childcare that you pay for. So this could be nursery, childminder, after school club nanny, that type of thing. It must be paid for and approved. So unfortunately, no grandparents, that's not allowed. And under the scheme, what will happen is that you can create an online government gateway account. And it's designed so that every 80p that you as the parent puts into the fund, the government will also top this up by 20p. It's open to all employees, including the self-employed as well. So I think the government sorry, I should add, you can claim up to £2,000 per child as well, or up to £4,000 if your child is disabled. And there's a link at the bottom of the page there on how to do that. And just reading through this, I think half of all eligible parents are actually claiming this. So a lot of people don't actually know that this is available to claim. Okay, on to the final one, and this is to claim tax relief on job expenses, for example, to clean uniforms or buy uniforms. And this applies to any certain trade. So it's mainly people that might get a little bit grubby, should we say, in their day jobs. So there's, a building, sort of builders and just general trades, construction, agriculture, and yeah, the police, the fire brigade, and ambulance workers as well can claim this. It's not worth a huge amount. It could be worth, I think, anywhere between about 20 and sort of £50, £60 a year. So it's not a huge amount, but the key thing is if you register, as long as you don't change your job, then you'll get this benefit every single year. So it's one of these things, you spend, a few minutes filling in a form online, and it just means over the course of a few years, you could be paying hundreds of pounds less in tax. So I think it's worth doing. And then finally, if you're a member of a professional institute or membership organization and you pay membership fees for that, then you can get tax relief on this as well. Again, it's done through, both of these are done through your tax code. So you don't actually get a check through the post. What you do is pay less tax through your PAYE code. That's how it works. So again, just follow those links for more details. Okay, on to the next section. So yeah, I wanted to do this. I'm a big fan of reading business books and personal development books, self-improvement books. I've got a big bookshelf of them here at the One Accounting office. So I thought it'd be nice just to share a good book that I've read. And in future webinars, hopefully I'm going to be getting a guest or two along, and they'll be sharing their book choice, so we get a bit of variety. So the first one is by a guy called Tim Ferris. There's a book there. Tim's famous for writing a book called The 4-Hour Workweek, which a lot of you might have read. And this book is sort of 4 years old, I think. It's called Tribe of Mentors. What I like about this book, it's a series of just short interviews, if you like, with more than 100 people. They could be business people, sports people, a lot of venture capitalists as well, who just share a lot of their secrets for, well, as you can see there, success, happiness, and meaning. Generally, what would happen is that Tim, he asked some sort of standard questions, which I'll read from you here. So in the last 5 years, what have you become better at saying no to? In the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life? What is one of the best or most worthwhile investments you've made? If you could have a gigantic billboard anywhere, what would it say and why? So there's some really great answers to those questions. As you can see, this is a good book just to read when you've got a few minutes to spare. And I've sort of put some little stickies on some of the answers that I like. So I'm just going to read one out here. And this is from Maria Sharapova, who's a tennis player that won 5 Grand Slam titles. I think she's replied now. This is quite relevant for me. So it's, what advice would you give to a smart, driven college student about to enter the real world? So my oldest son recently graduated from university, and this is directed at him, really. I don't think he'd take any advice from his dad, but I might give him this book to read. So anyway, Maria says, you can't ever say the words please and thank you enough. Turn those words into actions. Make people around you feel that words are genuine, that it is exactly how you feel. The same goes for when you break through and make it. Don't eliminate those words from your pocket. So it's very much, if you've got young children, or what you can remember being told as a child, always to say please and thank you. I think they're probably the two most powerful words in the English language. It doesn't cost you anything, but it just promotes a feeling of respect and warmth, I think. So yeah, I think that's good advice from Maria there. Okay, moving on to the next section. It's sort of linked with the book, is a podcast. So again, many of you might listen to business podcasts, maybe when you're exercising or driving in the car. I'm quite a big fan of this one. It's called the High Performance Podcast. You can get these on Spotify and Apple iTunes and other places as well. It's by Jake Humphries and Damian Hughes. You might know Jake Humphries. He is now a football presenter. I think he does Sky Sports football, or BT, I think. But he also used to present the Grand Prix racing on BBC. And yeah, the High Performance Podcast, he interviews with a guy called Damian Hughes, people from the world of sport and business, and a few people outside of that. I really like it. They're quite long form, between an hour and an hour and a half long. They go quite deep. The recommended starting point, actually, I found this fascinating. It's by a guy called Chris Voss, who's a kidnapping negotiator with the FBI. So he tells you how he manages to get kidnappers to release their hostages. So he's obviously a great communicator, but I picked up quite a lot of important knowledge about communicating there. There's also good ones with Stephen Gerrard, the footballer, Rangers manager, Stephen Hendry, the snooker player, and there's one called by Mary Portas as well, who's a sort of retail guru. So there's plenty on there. At the moment, there's been sort of Olympic athletes, and a few weeks ago there were footballers from the Euros. So yeah, there's a load of material there, and I really recommend you check this out. Okay, on to the very last section. Again, a subject close to my heart, which is productivity and getting more done. So as I get more experienced, it's all about working smarter, not harder. So anything I could do to take a shortcut or just work more efficiently, I will do. So yeah, unfortunately, this is not the One Accounting office. I think it looked like this once, but yeah, this is a poor guy who's on the phone in the background, and yeah, he's got a very messy and inefficient office. So that hopefully this guy might benefit from my productivity hacks as well. So we'll go to some of these are very sort of short. The first one, if you're watching this on YouTube, my recommendation is you speed it up to 1.5 times speed. So I think this is going to be about 20 minutes long. So if you speed it up 1.5 times, you can watch it in 12 or 13 minutes. And I don't think I'm going to sound like Mickey Mouse. I think if you get the, what you need to do is just click on the wheel at the bottom of your YouTube or Vimeo video, and you get the option there to speed it up or slow it down. So I think if you get to double speed, yeah, it can get a bit Mickey Mouse is how I'd describe it. But yeah, it's just a quick way. If you're watching training videos or, you know, like software demonstrations or anything really, I probably wouldn't recommend music, but or a film. But yeah, it's a good way if you're in business mode to actually watch the video a little bit quicker, and that's going to save you some time. Second one, this is a well-known technique, but I'm a big fan of this, called the Pomodoro technique. And this is a way to really focus on your key tasks. Yeah, like a lot of people, sometimes I struggle with focus. There's interruptions, you know, the phone rings, or I'm tempted to look at my email, or I look out the window and start thinking of what I'm going to have for dinner. And yeah, you get distracted from the main task. So the Pomodoro technique is that you identify a few tasks, you know, key tasks for your day. So for me, this could be reviewing a tax return. It could be writing a sales proposal, or responding to a client email, or working on something that's going to improve my business. And the key here is you set 25 minutes aside to look at that task. Set a timer. You can do this on your phone, or you can buy a little stopwatch or something. The Pomodoro, actually, if you look into this, I forget the name of the person that started, but the Pomodoro was a little like plastic tomato that also doubled up as a timer, and you twisted the top, sort of counted to 25 minutes, and it sort of and it unwinds itself slowly, and then I think a bell goes off when the 25 minutes are up. So that's where the Pomodoro, I think it's an Italian type of Italian tomato. But anyway, digressing. Set the timer for 25 minutes. Focus, don't get distracted. When the bell goes off or the alarm goes off, just stop what you're doing. Just take a breather for 5 minutes, make a cup of tea, or just, you know, get up and walk around and stretch, and then reset, set your 25 minutes and go again. And, you know, if you do this sort of say 3 or 4 times over the course of the morning, it means that you've got some big tasks done, even, you know, before lunchtime. That's the key as well. So give the Pomodoro technique a go. And then, yeah, last of all, okay, bearing my soul a little bit here, go digital cold turkey. So yeah, I don't mind admitting, I found with lockdown last year, I was spending more and more time on my phone, just idly scrolling and not even realize I was doing it. And during the Christmas holidays, I looked at the end of the week, because you get a screen time report on the iPhone, which I use. And I'd spent 2 hours, 15 minutes a day on average on my phone. So I thought, right, that's rather a lot. So I went cold turkey, and I reduced that to 45 minutes a day. So let me just share with you how I did that. No phone before 8 o'clock. So I just put my phone in it, you know, my lounge, sort of even hid it under a cushion. And I said to myself, right, I'm not going to look at my phone before 8 o'clock, or, you know, at least till I brush my teeth in the morning. Deleted Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn from my phone. So I was quite a big fan of LinkedIn, actually, and the odd Instagram post, but yeah, deleted those from my phone so that I wouldn't be tempted. I could still access those, I think, just through a web browser, and just switched off all the notifications and dings other than text messages. So any email alerts or WhatsApp alerts or things like that, just remove them completely. You can switch those off in the settings. And as an attempt to become more present, I would say, when I went shopping or something, I'd leave my phone in the house, or when I went out with my kids, either all together or just one-on-one, I'd leave my phone at home, because I thought, well, if somebody wants to get hold of me, they'll just ring one of my kids. My kids have always got their phone, obviously. I don't think they're going to go cold turkey. But yeah, I found that I just became less reliant on my phone and more sort of present in the moment. So yeah, these really help me. So yeah, give that a go and see how you get on. As an indication, this is quite amazing. So if you watching this video now would try and reduce your phone usage by 30 minutes a day, doesn't sound like a lot, does it? Anyway, here are the numbers. Obviously, numbers are important for an accountant. If you save 30 minutes a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, then how much time is that going to save you? Well, it's there, nearly 11,000 minutes, 182 hours, 7.5 full days, or if you're looking at a business day of 8 hours each, that will save you 24 business days a year, which is absolutely bonkers, isn't it? What a statistic that is. So it just goes to show how much more time you can free up if you just become less reliant on your phone. And it can be done, but you might need to follow my lead and other people's lead as well. And like I say, go digital cold turkey. So there we go. That's pretty much the end of today's webinar. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, comments, or tips, or if you'd like to suggest a book or a podcast, or maybe make a guest appearance and talk about productivity, then there's my email address there, chris.thomas@oneaccounting.co.uk. We'll see you next month. The next first Tuesday webinar is on Tuesday, the 7th of September. And you can get details of that and sign up at the link below, which is oneaccounting.co.uk/events. So it's Chris Thomas. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.